Hi, welcome to JKCoding. I'm Jagdish Kumar. Today's session is about .NET architecture and Hello World program. Let's get started. First, we will see .NET architecture. We have two major components in the .NET framework. One is class library, second is common language runtime. What is class library? So it provides a set of APIs and types for the common functionality. It provides types for strings, dates, numbers, etc. The class library includes APIs for reading and writing files, connecting to database, drawing and more. It is basically the API that we develop for reading and writing files and to connect to the database and like that. And what is common language runtime? It is an execution engine that handles running applications. It provides services like thread management, garbage collection, type safety, exception handling, and more. So the common language runtime, it is an execution engine. So whatever the code that we write, so this CLR is to handle those running applications, and it provides services like these thread management, garbage collection. So all these services to the running applications. And let's move to the next slide. So let's get into more details here. So in the .NET framework, we can use any language. Either it can be C# code, F# code, or Visual Basic code. So anything, like we have a many list of supporting languages in the .NET framework. Each language will be having a different compiler, and the respective compiler will compile the code and it will convert the code into the common intermediate language. So the code in the common CIL will be stored in the assemblies like DLL and .exe file. Okay, and then when the app runs, so whenever we are running the app, then CLR, that is common language runtime, will take the assembly and then it uses just-in-time compiler and it will convert the assemblies or exes into the machine code where the computer or system can understand, so that it will run the execution, it will run the statement that we written in the C# or F# or Visual Studio Basic code. Okay, so this is what the flow is. First, we will write the code in C# or any other language, and then the respective compiler will convert the code into the common intermediate language. So it is the same language for every language that is written in the .NET framework. So respective compiler will convert that code into the common intermediate language, and then so this will be, the code will be stored in the DLL or exe file, executive file, or anything. And then whenever we run the app or whenever we will make use of that DLL, then CLR will come into picture and it will take that assembly and it will use the just-in-time compiler, and then it will convert that DLL or that exe file into the machine code so that system can understand. Okay, so the same thing was written here. .NET applications are written in the C#, F# or Visual Basic programming language. So code is compiled into language-agnostic common intermediate language. So it is common for all, like whatever the code that we written, that should change to the common intermediate language. So compile code is stored in the assemblies files, that is DLL or exe files. That is called as a class library. And when the app runs, the CLR, that is common language runtime, takes the assembly. So it will take the DLL or exe file and uses just-in-time compiler to turn into the machine code like this, so that that can execute on the specific architecture of the computer it is running on. Okay, I think you are clear about .NET architecture. So let's move into the Hello World program. So this is how hello world program will look like. Let's get into the practice. So let's flip to Visual Studio. I do have a Visual Studio 2022 is installed in my machine, so I'm just opening that. And in the launching page you will find these things here. So these are the recent solutions, and here these are the options that we can select. So first option is the clone a repository. So whenever you wanted to clone a repository from the GitHub or from the Azure DevOps, we can use this option and we can clone it. And if you wanted to open a project or a solution, we can have this option. And whenever you wanted to open a local folder, you can use this option. And whenever you wanted to create a new project, you can use this option. So I want to create a new project, so I'm using this option. And I will be having a lot of options to select what type of application it is. So whether I should wanted to use the console app, or I wanted to, like, user can select any app based on his or her requirement. So we can go for console app or ASP.NET Core, Blazor server app, ASP.NET Core Web API. So there are a lot many templates available here. You can select through the language that you are going to written. You can, if you select C#, so it will going to give the templates for the only that particular C#. And you can also filter through platform, either it could be Android, Azure, iOS, or you can also filter through project types. So for the Hello World program, for this, because it is a simple program, so I am choosing console app at the moment, and I am just clicking the next button. So here, because you are creating a new project, you should give a name here. So I'm giving name as Hello World, and I'm giving the path as like this. You can also browse your own directory here. You can explore here. And what is the solution name that you are going to give, that is also you can give it here. So solution, if you see what is solution, a solution is a container for one or more projects in a Visual Studio. That means, so if you are writing any project, that should be in the solution. So one solution can contains many projects. You can have one project, two projects, and so on. So it is basically one container where we will keep all the projects in one bucket. So that is what solution is. And you have one checkbox here, that is place solution and project in the same directory. What does it mean? So if you see here, we have two different things here. One is project and other is solution. So if you want these two things to be in the same directory, you can check this. Then if you see here, the project will be created on, this is the path that you have given, and later it created two folders, and in the inside folder it is creating a project. But if you check this box, the Hello World, so it will keep the solution and project in the same directory. For that reason we have a checkbox here. So I'm just unchecking here because I want solution and project to be in the different directories. So I'm just unchecking this and I'm clicking on next button now. And here it is asking for the framework to be selected. Here in my machine I do have two .NET frameworks, that is .NET 6.0 and .NET 7.0. So I'm selecting .NET 6.4. So if you have any other .NET frameworks to be installed in your machine, then all the list of .NET frameworks will be listed here, and you can select according to your needs. So I'm selecting 6.0 for the time being, and we have one checkbox here, that is do not use top level statements. So this is the new feature that was added to the .NET framework recently. So we will talk about this later. For the time being, I'm just checking this. and if you click on create, it is going to create a new project for us. So it is creating a project. Yes, we have a new sample program that was created for us, and if you see here, it is a solution explorer. What is solution explorer? So as I said earlier, solution can have multiple projects, so all the list of projects will be listed here, and what are the project that we are going to work and what are the file that we are going to navigate. We can use this thing and we can navigate, and we can also search the list of files here. What is the file that you wanted to open? So we mostly use this solution explorer. For suppose if you don't see the solution explorer here, then how can you get that? Yeah, you can go to the view section, and then if you see here, if you click on the solution explorer, then the window will open, and you can also use the shortcut Control Alt L. So I'm going to click on it, and then the solution explorer was opened, and this is the section where whenever we click on any CS file, the code will be appearing here, and this is the output window. This is all customizable, like you can drag like this, and you can unpin this solution explorer, and whenever you wanted to use this solution explorer, just you can click on it and it will appear like that. This is also the same thing, output window, and if you don't want to use it, and you can use auto hide option. I wanted to have solution explorer all the time open, so I just kept like this. And if you see in the code, we have three things mainly here. One is namespace, and one is class, and other is the main method, and this is the main method. So what is main method? So main method is the entry point for our .NET applications. Okay, so whatever how many lines of code that we may write, the starting point would be this main method only. And if you coming to the class, so it is just like a blueprint of the objects that we are going to work. Okay, so we have some code here, and we have one thing called console.writeLine and hello world. How should we execute? We have options here like hello, this button, and we have one more button here. By using these two, we can run the applications. So I will tell the difference between these two. So for time being, I am just clicking on hello world, and let's see the result here. So if you see the result here, so whatever that was written in the console.writeLine in the text format, that was written in the console. That is what our intention was to print. And even you can see the output here. The hello world.exe was loaded and it was exited. So the output window was here, and the actual console app output was here. Okay, so if you wanted to edit anything, you can just go on edit here. Maybe I wanted to add one more line here, so I'll just add it, and I'll just change the text, and I'm gonna save it, and I'm gonna run it. So now you will be able to see both the things, that is hello world and JKCoding. That is how we will write the simple hello program. Now we will look into what is the difference between this button and this button. So in the coding, we would be needing the debugging, right? So whenever we have a breakpoint, so whenever you wanted to stop the execution, you can have the breakpoint. So if I click here, this is the breakpoint. When I run the applications, when I using this button, then the execution will stop here, because we have a breakpoint here and we wanted to see how the code is being run in this point. So because we are using this option, so it will stop here because we have a breakpoint, and we can debug like this. But in the real life you will be having lot many files, and you have a unnecessary breakpoints, and you don't want to stop the code in that breakpoint. So in that cases, you can use this button where it will ignore all the breakpoints and it will just run it. So in sometimes in the real life we do need these buttons where our code, we don't want our code to be stopped in the breakpoints, so we'll use this button. So when I use this button, the code will not stop there, it will execute. So it executed and we have output hello world and JKCoding. Okay, this is what the difference between these two buttons. I think we will learn more things in the later sessions. That's all for now.